Welcome to the exploration of the following impressive music piece, Tod on Verklärung Op. 24 by Richard Strauss. It is also known as Death and Transfiguration, which is a powerful tone poem, captures the themes of life, death, and transcendence. Richard Strauss was a prominent German composer in the Romantic era, specialized in tone poems and operas. He was born in Munich and showed early musical talent, composing his first work at the age of 6. He worked on Tod on Verklärung Op. 24 in 1889 when he was only 25 years old. It may seem quite surprising that Strauss took just 7 months to fully score the piece. He premiered it on the 21st of June in 1890 in a concert at Eisenach, showing his brilliance. Moreover, his poet friend, Alexander Ritter, had transformed his story into verse, which was the manuscript of Tod on Verklärung Op. 24. This tone poem reflects both Strauss' personal circumstances and the broad cultural and historical context of the late 19th century Europe. The society was dominated by high romanticism and symbolist movement, in which artists, writers, and musicians sought to explore the mysteries of life, afterlife, and human spirit. The intense fascination with the macabre, a symbol of death, had deeply influenced many late Romantic composers by emphasizing metaphysical introspection and extreme emotional stages. They were expanding the self-expressive possibilities of music, while the orchestras were also growing in size. Being immersed in such an environment, Strauss was greatly inspired by philosophical musings about mortality and legacy. With his imagination, he created Tod on Verklärung Op. 24 and took full advantage scoring this masterpiece for a large orchestra with strings, woodwinds, brass, timpani, and harp. This piece is about a dying man who had striven for the highest artistic goals. He lies in bed asleep, breathing heavily and irregularly. Agreeable dreams charm a smile onto his face, despite his suffering. As attack and pain subside, he reflects on his past life, his childhood, and youth with passions. He remembers the ideal he has worked towards to represent his art. The hour of death eventually approaches, and the soul leaves the body. The ideal gloriously achieved in eternity, which could not be fulfilled on earth. In 1949, Strauss reported that the piece had accurately predicted his own experience of dying. Now, let's delve into the music. The recording I have chosen is National Arts Center Orchestra in November of 2023. Let's start with the form. The piece follows a loose programmatic structure divided into forming sections that correspond to the stage of life, death, and transfiguration. Here's the listening guide. You may pause the video to take a look at it. I will go over the forming sections with you. Let's start with the first section, Largo, illustrating the dying artist's struggle. Let's listen to it. The heartbeat motif in the timpani punctuates the opening, symbolizing the fragile state of life. Irregular rhythms and sparse orchestration are the highlights. Low strings and woodwinds create a dark, foreboding atmosphere. Gradual crescendos, dissonances, and chromatic lines depict the artist's pain and struggle. We can also hear the chromatic rising oboe motif here. As pain and struggle subside, the artist's life flashes before his eyes. We are now moving towards the calm section with memories and aspirations. Childhood in gentle G major, youth manly exploits in heroic E-flat major, and a love scene in B major. Melodic flowing lines in the strings and woodwinds evoke the themes of reminiscence and longing. The music becomes more tonal and harmonically stable, suggesting peace and clarity. The orchestral texture becomes lighter and more transparent, allowing individual timbres to shine. There are subtle references to the main theme of Transfiguration, hinting at what is to come. Now comes the climax section, Allegro molto agitato, the struggle between life and death. The tension reaches a fever pitch with powerful brass fanfares and a forceful orchestral climax, symbolizing the artist's desperate battle with death. Rapid passages in the strings and woodwinds create a sense of chaos. Dissonant harmonies and loud, abrupt dynamic changes heighten the conflict, ending with brass and horns, as the music hints at a shift towards transfiguration. We can also hear the chromatic descending death motif here. We are finally approaching the signature theme in this piece, Transfiguration. Let's listen to it. music chances to a serene and uplifting atmosphere by a rising six-note motif, which returns 3 times, even more elaborately scored. The Transfiguration grows from horns to woodwinds, allowing strings to soar. Harmonies become more consonant and radiant with full orchestra, reflecting spiritual transcendence. The piece concludes with a peaceful coda, fading into silence. The heartbeat motif returns briefly, now transformed. There are some significant features we should pay attention to. Strauss writes the work that begins in C minor and ends in C major. He employs the use of lead motifs similar to Wagner, using recurring musical ideas associated with life, death, and transfiguration. The dynamic contrast from whispering strings to powerful brass fanfares also implied the dramatic switch between peaceful life and sorrow death. After listening through the piece, we can feel the ambition of Strauss and his definitive concepts of death and transfiguration. I would also like to talk about the interpretation of the selected recording. Alexander Shelley is characterized by its clarity and attention to detail. Notice how he balanced the rich orchestral textures, allowing individual instrumental lines to emerge without overwhelming the overall sound. Tog om Verklärung Op. 24 is a beautiful and meaningful piece. I like it so much. I hope you enjoy Strauss' profound journey of life, death, and artistic fulfillment, and it resonates with your experience. Thank you for watching.